Hello, welcome to Strong and Slow Yoga Flow. And today's affirmations and theme is going to be about gratitude. And so I want you to kind of think about those things as we go along. And we're also going to build up into shoulder stand series today. So be mindful if that is good for you or not. If it's not, I'm going to have modifications for you. So no worries. But we're going to start standing, and blocks may be helpful for a few things we're going to do, and a strap we're going to use at the end. So you'll definitely want to have something along those lines. So as we start, I'm going to turn sideways. So I want you to just get a nice little posture check here. So you want your hip bones, your ASIS here, your hip bones, not about how wide you think you are, but your hip bones, to be in relative alignment with your knees and your feet. And so you don't want to do anything that makes you really uncomfortable, but try to find that as best as you can. And then just move forward and back a little bit. Heels and toes can lift. We'll zip up that belly button here. So belly button is into the spine. Good. And then we'll just be nice and tall. So just notice a few things for a moment. So are you locked in the knees? And if you are, could you maybe soften a little bit? That'll give your hips a little bit more, or your spine rather, a better spot. And could ears, shoulders, hips, knees, ankles be in a relative alignment? So you may not be perfect, just know that you're trying to go there. We just want to avoid this as we age, and we will want to avoid kind of this as we age and stand. So stay nice and tall. Good. Now, once you've got that, or as best to your ability, good. Let's take it big. Inhale and reach. Turning palms away, grow taller from crown to tail. And we'll go again. Turning away and reach. Turning palms away, grow taller from crown to tail. Good. Now from here, just let the knees and the hips and everything move. If we just go side to side. Good. And then once ready, good. Let's get a nice little side bend. So big inhale with reach. Exhale, just get a nice side bend towards the left. I'm still trying to keep shoulders and hips into alignment. And I'm really pressing through this side. And I've got a nice long arm here. So you get more of an engagement when your arm is long versus when you're bent here. So you want to be as engaged as you can be. Just felt my back pop in the back. Hopefully you didn't hear that. Good. And then from here, we'll come up. And then we'll come up and over other side. Reaching. Breathing. And then we'll come up. So we're going to take this into a ragdoll type of a movement. So I want you to just kind of let the arms just kind of do what they do. If you're someone that needs to keep a flat back, you're really going to bend your knees, and you won't round the spine as you go, but this should still feel good to you. So I'm going to turn towards my left. I'm going to nod my chin down. I'm just going to roll. I'm going to let the knees bend on my way down. I'm going to move through center, coming up towards the right side, pressing through the feet, coming all the way up. And then we'll do that to the other side. So we'll go this way. Good. Just coming down, letting the knees bend, moving through center, pressing through the feet and the legs, coming all the way up. Let's do that one more time. So going towards the left. Pressing through the legs and the feet, coming up, and last time, we'll go to the right, bending the knees, coming down, pressing through the feet and the legs as you come up. Good, and coming back. Last time, big inhale and reach. Exhale, bend the knees as you come down, pressing through and coming up. So from here, if you can, just open to the side. Just get a little bit of a standing back bend. And then we'll take that down. So we're going to come to some standing cat-cows here. Some standing cat-cows. So my feet are back in that hip width apart. I'm going to take my hands to my thighs. And I'm going to lengthen my spine. Good. And then we're going to take this to cat-cow. So again, if you've got a back issue or something like that, just move into the range of motion. that your back will allow. So on an inhale, my tail's going to tilt back, my chest is going to come forward, and then exhale and round. Inhale, cow, exhale, cat. Inhale, cow, exhale, cat. Inhale, cow, and exhale, cat. Press all the way through. Good. Now for this first round, I've got my blocks. I'm going to use them. I've got my blocks at my tallest setting. Okay. And so then from here, coming into the gratitude about repeating to yourself, I am grateful for who I am. I am grateful for who I am. Big inhale and reach. Exhale, bend those knees as you come down. Inhale, pressing through the feet and the legs, lengthen the spine. Knees can stay more bent if needed. Exhale and we'll bow. Pressing through the feet and the legs, coming all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Let's do that again. Big inhale and we'll lift. Exhale, we'll bend and come down. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale, then we'll fold. Pressing through the feet and the legs. We'll come all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Good. Now from here, I'm going to move my blocks just a little bit more forward. Good. And here we go. Big inhale and we'll reach. Exhale, bend the knees and come down. Coming to blocks or maybe to the floor. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway to the floor, the blocks, the shins or the thighs. Exhale and we'll bow. Good. Inhale, plant the hand. Step or hop back to plank. Pause in your plank. Now, if you need to take it down to the forearms, because your wrists don't like being up here, you can do that. You can always lower the knees at any time. But find a little bit of a length in the torso. Good. Belly button is in. And then once you're ready, we'll drop the knees if they're not already. Untuck the toes, elbows turn forward. And I'm going to slowly come all the way to the floor. Good. As I wiggle, wiggle, wiggle here, getting settled, my hands are going to come forward into the side. Rolling shoulders back, belly button in. So find a little space or find a medium cobra here. So belly button is in, shoulders are down, triceps are working, and we'll lower. From here, as we come up, we're going to press into the right side, lift up, look over the right shoulder. And then we'll come down. Coming back up to center, find your medium cobra. Belly button stays in. And take it down. Pressing through the left side, come up, look over the left shoulder. And coming down. Again through center. This time you can find a baby, a medium, or a high. And then we'll come back down. Good. And wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Hands under the shoulders. From here, we're going to press back through a tabletop, tucking the toes, and we're going to lift up into our first downward facing dog. So as you come into your first down dog, notice form. Could you spread the fingers wide, moving through knuckles of pinky, pointer, and thumb? Maybe you need to come to a dolphin pose instead on the forearm. Elbows can turn forward. They can also be slightly bent here. They don't have to be hyperextended. Shoulders away from the ears. And maybe shifting back just a little bit more towards the heels. Knees can be bent or legs can be long. Head and neck is free. Breathe. And then once you're ready, inhale, look forward, bend the knees, walk, step, or hop your feet forward to meet your hand. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale and we'll bow. Pressing through the feet and the legs. We're going to come up. And exhale, hands to heart center. We'll move through these a little bit quicker. You choose to take or skip the flow. Big inhale and we'll reach. Exhale and we'll fold. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale and we'll bow. Inhale, plant the feet, step or hop back to plank. You choose, take or skip a flow. From downward facing dog when you're ready. Inhale, look forward, bend the knees. Walk, step, or hop your feet forward to meet your hands. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale and we'll bow. Pressing through the feet, engaging the legs. We'll rise up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Finding breath, mountain, and tension. We'll go again. Inhale and reach. Exhale and we'll fold. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale and we'll bow. From here, planting the hand. Step or hop back to plank. Take or skip a flow. From the down dog when you're ready. Inhale, look forward, bend the knees, walk, step, or hop your feet forward to meet your hands. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale and we'll bow. Pressing through the feet and the legs, we'll rise up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Finding breath, mountain, and tension. All right. So we're going to try to take this into a flowing warrior 3 here. And what I want you to do is kind of a single leg warrior, well, kind of like a single leg deadlift. Okay. So what I want you to do, for example, if we were doing a deadlift in the gym, you're kind of hinging the hips back, you've got your weight here, you're squeezing the glutes as you come back up. I want you to try to get to that similar mindset and engagement when we do this next one here. So I'm going to start with the left side, and after the third one, we'll go right into the other side. So hip, knee, and toe track of the left side. Good. So I'm going to zip up, and you can use your blocks here if you need to. I'm going to pick this right leg up just a little bit. And then from here, good. I'm going to go back a little bit. Good. If that's okay, you can go back a little bit more, but be where you're stable. Good. Now, here's my deadlift engagement. Squeezing that glute, pressing in, coming back. There's one. We'll go back again. Good. Remember, hands can always come to your block. Good. Engage. And number 3, maybe we hold this one a little bit more. Good. So right hip, knee, and toe are facing the floor. You don't have to be high. Hip, knee, and toe here are facing forward. And then here's the deadlift engagement coming back up. Good. Shake out that left leg. We're going to do that all on the right. So right hip, knee, and toe, track forward, zipping up. Here we go. Maybe you go just a little bit. Good. Good. Engage. Coming back up. Noticing where you're stronger. This is my weaker side. Have to fight for it just a little bit more. We'll come back for 2. Good. Engage the glute. Coming back up. And third one, we'll hold this one back a little bit more. On this side, I need my blocks. So I'm going to be right here. Breathing. Good. And once you're ready, good, really engage. And coming all the way back up. Good. You can shake out that leg. From here, good. Big inhale. Exhale and we'll fold. Coming to blocks or to the floor. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale, roll bow. From here, planting the hand. Step or hop back to plank. You choose. Take or skip a flow. So many options you can use here based on your body. And what about, I am grateful for what today will bring. I am grateful for what today will bring. So I don't normally have my blinds open, but today I do because when I had it open, it was a little cloudy outside. Now the sun has come out and I've got a little bit more light in here. I'm not sure what that will do to the video, but I'm happy to see the sun nonetheless. We're expecting storms today. So from here, left leg's gonna lift 3 points, bending that knee. It will come forward, step, or pick up and put the left foot forward between the hands. Good. And then from here, you choose. If your balance is not real good today, bring down that back knee. If you're a little bit more confident, but maybe need a little help, remember you can come up in stages using your block and then walking yourself back up. Or you might be able to just get up there. That's okay. So we're on parallel railroad track alignment. I'm pressing back through my back heel. My front hip is back and I'm zipped up in the front body. Relaxing the shoulders. From here, I'm going to lengthen that front leg. I'm going to warrior press the back. So from the hip, everything's going to turn out about 45-ish degrees. My front hip's going to come back. My back hip's going to come forward. Feel free to play with slightly different alignments here. Not everybody's heel and arch is going to work, or heel to heel. Just be careful that you don't come too wide if you need to do that. So front hip's going to come back hip's going to come forward. Good. Now we've got a little bit of a warrior one. If this does not feel good to the low back, the hip, or the knee, swivel back up, come back to your high crescent. And then from here, good, we'll lengthen that front leg. And we're going to take this into a pyramid variation. A pyramid variation. So again, if you need to swivel up the back, do so. I'm going to keep that front knee soft. And I'm going to lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. When I can come no more, maybe hands come to the thigh. You can come to the shin. You can come to your block. You can come to the floor. But try to keep a long torso wherever it is that you are. My front heel is down. Good. I'm lengthening. Front hip is back. Good. Now from here, good. We're going to take this into a little bit of a kind of a triangle opening. So again, if this isn't for you, swivel up the back. But I'm just going to kind of I'm going to use my block as a little bit of resistance today since it happens to be here. So belly button is in, and I'm just going to open. Good. And then take that down and close. And open. And close. And one more time. And open. We'll hold this one open. Good. So front hip is back hip is forward. Maybe ask yourself, what are 3 things you're grateful for today? Like we'll put a bend in that front knee. We'll come back down, swivel up that back foot if it's not there already, planting the hands, front foot steps back. You choose, take or skip a flow. Maybe it could be something as easy as waking up in the morning, showing up on your mat today. That's 2 things. From downward facing dog, when you're ready, we're going to take it to the other side. Right leg lifts 3 points, bending that knee, shifting forward, stepping or picking up and putting that foot forward between the hands. Good. Now, again, you can lower the knee or to keep it lifted. You can use your blocks to help you if you need to do that. Come to where you need to come, pressing through that front heel, front hip comes back. Good. So finding your crescent. Finding the breath. Once you're ready, good. I'm going to lengthen my front leg. I'm going to warrior prep the back leg. So from the hip, everything's going to turn out about 45-ish degrees. And then maybe for front hip comes back. So again, if this doesn't feel good to that back hip, back low back, what have you, the knee, swivel up and stay in your parallel row or track alignment. Now from here, we're going to take this into that pyramid variation. So the front knee's a little soft. I'm going to lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. I'm going to come back to my blocks. You may not need yours. You can always come to the thigh or to the shin. Good, lengthening torso. Well, every cell in my body vibrates with gratitude. Every cell in my body vibrates with gratitude. So now from here, I've got my other block. I'm going to use it for resistance as I open up into a triangle. Good. And then coming back down. Opening up into the triangle. Look at the hands. You want to stop right over the shoulder if you can. Try not to go beyond. And come down. And one more time. Taking it, holding it, looking up, rooting into the feet and the legs. And then once ready, good, we'll take that back down. Good. We're going to swivel up the back foot, put a bend in that front knee. Good. Plant the hands, front foot steps back. Good. And you choose take or skip a flow. I'm going to skip this one. And once you've made it to your downward facing dog, just go ahead and drop the knees and we'll find a child's pose here. So the knees can be as wide as the mat or somewhere in between. If you're someone that needs to keep a longer back, like no flexion, maybe the extended child's pose is better for you. If you want something a little bit more in flexion, maybe the more traditional child's pose is for you. Find what would feel good to you right now. And whenever you're ready, hands are going to come under the shoulders and we'll press ourselves up. Good. Now, we're going to do a few things here on the knees. So I'm going to bring my blanket back in so that I have knee cushion. If you don't have a blanket or pillow, but you feel like you need knee cushion, remember you can fold the back part of your mat up, creating a double layer, and then fold that again for a quadruple layer as needed. Everything we're getting ready to do can also be done on the forearms, either forearms on the floor or forearms on the block. So find what you need to do for your wrists here. But from here, knees are going to be under the hips. They can be slightly wider if you've got a cranky low back, belly button is in. From here, I'm going to take my left leg back. I'm going to let the toe touch for a moment. Let that hip drop slightly. And then once ready, I'll lift that leg. You can keep it low or high, but not higher than the hip. And then maybe that right arm comes forward. Belly button is in. And now we're going to be here for a while, so listen to your body. If you need to come out of something and take a break, please do so. So you're free to stay here. Some of you are going to bend that knee. You might choose to stay there, or you might choose to reach around, grabbing the foot and ankle or pant. That left knee is into the midline. Roll the right shoulder open. Squeeze the left glute. Take the left foot straight up towards the ceiling. Now you can also do this, taking the foot and the hip towards the ceiling if you're unbound, if you just bent the knee. And then from here, we will release, come back center, taking that down, child's pose. Maybe a decompression of the wrist. Good. How about I invite gratitude into my heart now. I invite gratitude into my heart now. And we'll come back forward. Good. And we're going to take that to the other side. So right leg's going to come back. Drop that hip slightly. Good. Hip's going to come up. Maybe in reach. And then reach. And then from here, we'll bend that knee. You can reach around and grab it, the foot that is. Knee's going to be into the midline, rolling the left shoulder back, squeezing right hip, taking the right foot towards the ceiling. Breathing, coming back to your gratitude. And then once ready, we'll release without slingshotting, reaching, and taking that down. Good. And coming back. Good. And wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Good. So from here, when you're ready, we are going to come to a seat from here. I'm going to bring my blanket back in. Good. And we're going to come to a deer pose here. So I like to think about deer pose if you're familiar with Pilates and the Pilates Z stance. So I'm gonna kind of roll over to my right side. So this is my left leg. I'm just gonna take it back just like this. And so then my right foot is here. So it kind of looks like a Z, if you will. From here, zipping up nice and tall, I'm going to rotate towards my left here, rolling shoulders back and looking behind me. Breathing and expanding. I have no idea why they call this deer pose. It doesn't really make sense to me, but I'm happy that I'm able to do it. And then from here, I'm going to release. I'm going to change sides. So now my left foot or leg is going to be in the center, kind of shifting over to the left side so I can take my right foot back here. And if this doesn't work for you, just a simple crisscross applesauce seated twist will give you something just as well. So from here, big inhale, exhale. Now I'm going to twist towards the right, rolling shoulders back. And then once ready, good, we will release back to center. Good. Now from here, we're going to take this onto our back, and we're going to be on the back for the rest of the time. So I want you to have your strap handy. And those of you that know you're going to do a modified version of shoulder stand, then I want you to have a block handy, just in case you want to use it for a modification. So I'm going to take that over there. I'm going to move my blanket out of the way. Good. And as we come onto our back, just kind of roll the shoulders around a little bit here. If you need to kind of wiggle, 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 do what it is that you need to do. So we're going to start with bridging first. And we're going to do one basic bridge, and then we're going to use the strap for a bind. So hip, knees, and toes are tracking here. I'm rolling shoulders back. My arms are long at my side. I'm going to press into my feet, my arms, and shoulders as I lift my hips straight up. Good. Belly button is in. Even here, I'm nice and wide through the collarbone. I'm reaching my fingertips towards my feet. And then I'm going to take that down. Now, if that was really hard for you, I want you to go back and do that again. If not, so I've got a strap. I've got a typical yoga strap here. You may have to do or not do something different with what you're using. But I'm folding mine in half. And I'm going to take that underneath here. Good. So I'm going to keep my hands at shoulder width apart. So I'm not binding my hands together. I'm not touching them together. I'm taking them shoulder width apart. I'm going to really roll my shoulders under to the best of my ability right now. I'm going to press into my feet as I lift my hips up. Maybe I can roll a little bit more, and I'm reaching my strap in my hands towards my heels. There's a little bit of a shoulder opener here. and just breathe. And you want the head to stay center and bridge. You don't want it to turn right or left. And then once ready, good, I'm going to release my strap, undo my shoulders a little bit here, and take that down. Once I come all the way down, take the knees into the chest and rock side to side. And take the head and neck from side to side. Good. All right. So we're going to take this into shoulder stand series here. Move my strap out of the way. Don't get rid of your strap. We'll come back to that again. So different things for different people. And I want you to really be mindful and honor where your health is when making a decision here. So some people need the super modification and you're just going to do legs up the wall. There's going to be nothing underneath the low back and you're just going to take your legs here and that's going to be your inversion here. Some of you are able to lift up and take your block either this way or this way, right under the low back. You need the tailbone. And then maybe you take your legs up here. Now, for most people, this is probably where you're going to stay. And if you've got an eye pressure issue, a neck issue, you're having a ladies' day, uncontrolled blood pressure, I would like for you not to go beyond this point. Those of you that don't have any of those issues, you are free to follow me into full shoulder stand. So from here, you can come up. Good. Now I've got my hands, good, right behind my hip. My elbows do not perfectly go in line with my shoulders. I've got a few little limitations, but I'm also being mindful of my neck. I want this weight to be in my shoulders and my elbows here. So if you feel that bone at the base of the spine uncomfortably popping out, you are in your neck, you're not in your shoulders, and you need to back off or come out completely. So wherever, whatever version you're doing here, maybe you point and flex the feet. Maybe rolling the ankles in one direction and then the other. Good. Now, as long as you're in the full shoulder stand, and this is okay for you to still be here, good. You can point the feet behind. You're just hinging from the hips. You're not trying not to change the angle anywhere else. And maybe you come into plow. If your feet do not comfortably touch the floor behind you, keep your hands at the waist or the back. Stay with the breath. Head stays centered. It does not turn right or left here. Good. Now, I'm going to take this back up here. Good. So if you're on a block, bend your knees, take the feet to the floor, lift the hips and remove it. If you're up here like me, good. You can let the legs go a little bit behind you and then slowly roll out of here. That is core control. Good. And then bend the knees and take the feet down. So just take the head and neck from side to side. Good. You can bring the knees into the chest. And then if it's appropriate for you, you can come into I'm just going to do a very modified fish pose. So I'm just going to take my hands behind my low back. I'm going to press into my elbows and come up here. You can have your knees bent. They can be long. That's the counter to the shoulder stand. And then taking that back down. Good. And we'll wiggle side to side. So from here, we're going to grab the strap. Good. Let's take the right foot into the strap, right foot into the strap. Good. And so we're going to hold these stretches a little bit here. So keep a micro bend in, and your other knee can be bent or extended long, go to where you can go. We'll do a gentle tug. You can always grip up higher on the strap, but try to keep the upper body grounded. And breathe. We'll gently release both pieces of strap into the right hand. Belly button is in, both hips stay grounded. Take that right leg to the right Wiggle around, find your best spot. If you'd like to take the head and neck to the left, you can. And then we'll come back up. Good. We will switch out our the hands here. So the left hand's going to grab both straps. Good. And I'm just going to arc over 45-ish degrees, and I'm going to wiggle around and find my best spot. I just want to hold here for a moment. And then you decide, are you going to stay here? Are you going to take this over? I need to move out a little bit. Are you going to take this over into a twist, keeping shoulders grounded, the leg in line with the hip, maybe looking to the right? I love the stretch, just gets into that outer hip so effectively. And then we will come back up. Good. We will remove. Good. And as you remove, just cross the right ankle over that left knee. We're going into a figure four. So this might be your figure four. You might pull it in closer to the face for a figure four. You might thread it through here. Just kind of find it where you need to find it. And how about, I am grateful for the abundance of blessings into my life. I am grateful for the abundance of blessings into my life. And then from here, we will release. And then we're going to take that all to the other side. So grabbing the strap, left foot in the strap. Good. This leg can be bent or extended long. Go where you're able to go with that. And we'll gently pull this in. This is my tighter side because it's my stronger side. My hamstring is a little bit more sensitive over here. Good. And we will release. Good. Both straps will come into the left hand. Both hips will stay grounded. Taking that left leg out to the left. Wiggle around to find your best spot. Maybe you want to look to the right. I am grateful for recognizing my body's limits and knowing that I can create ease when I need to create ease in my practice. I'm grateful for knowing my body's limits and how to create ease when I need ease in my practice. We'll come back up. Good. Both straps into the right hand. Good. We'll arc this leg over 45-ish degrees. Kind of wiggle around, find your spot. And then you choose if you're going to stay here, if you're going to take it all the way over, keeping leg in line with the hip, left shoulder down, maybe looking to the left. And you can always prop a block under the leg. We do these and you can't hold your leg there on your own. And we'll come back up. Good. We will remove the foot from the strap. Good. We'll come into figure four on this side. So you can stay right here. You can bring it into the chest. You can bind behind. Find it where you need to find it. You're welcome to rock it if that would feel good to you. You do want to try to keep the upper body grounded though. And then when it's ready, we will release. Okay. You can windshield wiper a little bit here if that would feel good to you. And then we're going to go into Shavasana from here. So you can bring in any props you may have that you would like. I'm going to bring my blanket in for a neck pillow here. And then, yeah, I'm just going to kind of wiggle a little bit here, kind of getting a little bit more settled. You can be in constructive breath. You can let everything come along and fluff open. You can be on your side or your belly, wherever it is that you need to be for you, where you can relax and settle in without a lot of fidgeting. And then I'll give you this final thought. An attitude of gratitude brings me to my desires. An attitude of gratitude brings me closer to my desires. Taking some deeper breaths here. Choose stillness, or gently take head and neck from side to side. Choose stillness, or allow movement of fingers and toes. Choosing stillness, or bringing knees into the chest. Choosing to keep the upper body grounded, or maybe lifting up into a full body hug. And choosing stillness, or letting the legs come long in front of you. And if you used any props, you'll want to remove those first. And then maybe my arms can come along behind me. And finding a nice full body stretch from the fingertips to the toes. Maybe pointing and flexing through the feet, bending and stretching through the hands, twirling wrists and ankles in one direction, and then in the other. And whenever ready, bending in both knees and rolling over to the right or left side, the side that works best for your body in this moment. Taking all the time that you need here. And when you're ready, pressing yourself up to a comfortable seat, whatever that may look like for you. Noticing how you feel. Palms up. Inhale, reach, reach, reach. Touching the palms together. As you bring them down, touch the thumbs in front of the forehead for good and true thought. To the lips for good and kind words. And to the heart for open and loving heart. Knowing no effort on this mat is ever wasted. No gain is ever reversed. May you be safe. May you stay well. May you have a wonderful day, evening, week ahead. Thank you so much. Namaste.